وتبسم ده النبي تبسم اللهم صل عليه قلبي المتيم كلما صلى مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم يا نبي سلام عليك يا رسول سلام عليك يا حبيب سلام عليك صلوات الله عليك صل على النبي وتبسم ده النبي تبسم وتبسم ده النبي تبسم اللهم صل عليه قلبي المتيم كلما صلى مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم يا نبي سلام عليك يا رسول سلام عليك يا حبيب سلام عليك صلوات الله عليك صل على النبي وتبسم ده النبي تبسم وتبسم ده النبي تبسم اللهم صل عليه قلبي المتيم كلما صلى مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم يا نبي سلام
Assalamualaikum and a very good evening to all. A'udzubillahi minasyaitonirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Thank you very much to all for joining this event once again. So before we proceed with this event, let us recite Al-Fatihah first. Alhamdulillah, tonight we're going to continue with the subsequent session of how is your tajweed. So basically 3 weeks ago, right, we already discussed about one of the hukum, which is hukum mad silah. And during that time, our friend and our tajweed sharer, Buddy Idlan, already mentioned that it's only occur, this type of one is only occur exclusively after ha dhamir, and it consists of mad silah tawilah as well as mad silah kasirah. So the difference between the two is that in mad silah kathira, the harakah or the duration of the hukum mat is about 2 harakah, whereby in mat silah tawilah will be about 4 to 5 harakah. So that's the difference in terms of the duration of harakah that we need to pronounce during the ayah in that sentence that have this hukum mat of silah kasirah or mat silah tawilah. But nevertheless, Alhamdulillah, we're going to continue again tonight with another subsequent hukum mat. And this time we make it in the first week of our September, supposedly on the second and fourth week, but this month we make it on this first week to compensate for the last session will be already occurred about 3 weeks ago. And hopefully after this we will follow the schedule as usual, all right? So with that, I will invite Brother Idlan to continue with the subsequent hukum, which is hukum. Today we're going to discuss on, I think it's quite interesting, the name of the hukum mat, which is hukum mat lazim kalimi muthaqal. The title of the hukum is quite long, and I think it's implied that the hukum could be quite complicated and could have multiple divisions. So we're going to start with the introduction of this hukum. So I pass the session to Brother Idlan. Thank you.
Okay, so Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, so today we will continue with the topic Lazim Harfi. So I will, inshallah, we will understand better after this session. So let me share the screen. Okay. Okay, so we like I said this before, in Malaysia we follow the Harfi Nasim, and all Mukallaf Muslim is obligated to learn Tajwid. And for this week, actually, I thought I just want to share about Lazim Harfi Muthaqal, but when I see back the hukum, I think it is better if we combine the Lazim Harfi, Muthaqal and Mukhaffaf, because it is quite related. Okay, so basically, Mad Lazim we have two, which is Mad Lazim Harfi and Mad Lazim Kalimi. And as its name implies, Harfi means huruf or letter, and Kalimi means is occur in kalimah. Harfi means is occur in huruf. Okay, recall what interesting about Mad Lazim Harfi is that all occur in the beginning of the surah. Okay, we see later. Okay, so basically, for Mad Lazim, so Lazim means that there is sukun. Sukun which means that, or in Malay we call tanda mati. The involved is permanent, which means that it is permanent sukun. I will show the example later. Harfi means that there is meeting between the letter of mat and sukun lazim, which is sukun that is permanent in a huruf. Okay, think from this explanation might be quite lengthy, but I just share the theory first. Okay, so basically, Mad Lazim Harfi, there is two types, which is Mad Lazim Harfi Muthaqal and Mukhaffaf. Muthaqal mean heavy, Mukhaffaf mean light, and is occur in the beginning of surah, and we need to read it in 6 harakah. Okay, why I say that it's occur in why first is called Harfi, Mad Lazim Harfi, and then second, if we notice, all this example is actually in the beginning of the surah. Okay, so for Mad Lazim Harfi, the interesting part about Mad Lazim Harfi is that we need to spell the huruf. We need to spell the huruf. For example, like nun. So we need to spell nun, waw, nun. And then for qaf, qaf alif fa. For sad alif da. For ain ya nun. For sin ya nun. And for lam alif mim. For mim ya mim. And for kaf alif fa. So actually, if we notice, for example, like in the beginning of the Surah Al-Baqarah, Alif Lam Mim. For example, like in the Surah Maryam, Kaf Ha Ya Ain Sad. Like in Surah, in Surah Ad-Dukhan, Hamim. So, first, we should question ourselves why some huruf we prolong the recitation, but some not. For example, like alif, lam, and alif. Why not? Why not we prolong the alif? But why only lam and why only mim? So alif lam mim. So that's first. So actually, I already put the 8 letter that considered as mad lazim harfi. Okay, why? Because the 6 letter, if we spell it, we can see that there is tidak pointer. Okay, this nampak tidak? Nampak? Okay. So
Yeah, we can see.
okay, so if we spell it nun waw nun, you can see that it is actually like the letter of mad made with the letter that is sukun. Nun waw nun. So if we see that it is actually, we read it as nun waw nun, and there is letter of mad and made with the letter that is sukun. Also qaf, sad, sa'ain. So this letter, that's why this letter we read it prolonged, and that's why it is considered as mad lazim harfi. We need to read as 6 harakah. And it is actually quite simple for us to notice it, as if above the letter there is like the wave sign. So it is one of the mad lazim harfi. And actually for me myself, I don't remember the letter. This is just for theory, but I just want to say that it is easy for us to recognize the letter of mad lazim harfi, because we just see that above the letter there is the wave sign. So of course there is mad lazim harfi. But what we need to know, either it is mad lazim harfi muthaqqal or mad lazim harfi mukhaffaf. Okay, so the first rule is that see that there is a huruf in the beginning of the surah, like usually for example, like Yasin, and some surah is Qaf. So we see that, and then we see between the huruf, is there any huruf with sign? So there, you can see that, of course, it is mad lazim harfi. And then that's thing first, and why we need to know the spelling of each huruf, because what makes the mad lazim harfi is muthaqqal or mukhaffaf is how the between the huruf, how they meet. For example, like like okay. take kaf, ha, ya, ain, sad. Okay. For example, like kaf, ha. Okay, so we see that kaf, alif, fa. So fa meet with ha. So do you think there will be any idgham? So no, no, right?
No, yeah.
Because we call easier for us to remember, idgham occur when nun sakinah meet with we call letter, yeah, we call any letter
Ya
from
wa memnun.
ifa hakiki, yawa minun, and that. So she kaf alifa meet with ha, so no idgham. And haya, so there is no, we call it is not considered as mad lazim. And ain, kaf haya, ain, sad. So if we see ain and sad, ain ya nun, that's the last nun meet with sad. So there is, if we see as hukum nun, so see that there is idgham. And yep, kaf haya, ain, sad. So we will read it as kaf ha ya ain sad. So it is not that kaf ha ya ain sad. No, I mean there is should be idgham. Kaf
Yeah, brother Idlan, sorry to
kaf.
ask. Can I
Sorry.
ask? Sorry to ask. Can I ask question regarding that pronunciation of the mad? Because you mentioned that we need to know the spelling of the huruf so that we can ensure either there is a requirement to make nasal sound or not in the idgham, right? So when it's 6 harakah, does it mean that the 6 harakah including the sound of idgham? Actually, we add on another 2 harakah after the huruf.
Okay.
Is it the six? Is it the 6 harakah? The hukum mad need to pronounce 6 harakah, right? Like for example, like kaf is 6 harakah, right? Ain 6 harakah. But here in ain and sad, there should be idgham, right? Ain sad. So that idgham usually in normal is ayah, not in this huruf at the beginning of surah. We make it the dengung to be 2 harakah, right? So in this huruf that we pronounce as ain sad, is that the dengung including in the 6 harakah, or actually we need to separate it into another 2 harakah for the for the dengung sound? Understand tak my question?
Faham.
Boleh, thank you.
For that part, I'm not really sure. I think either we
But usually
that's
we include the dengung in 6 harakah, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I think I realize it's something like that. Because the way that you pronounce that sample sounds like it's included. I think so. I'm not sure.
I will try to
Okay.
yeah. Okay, so that's how. And also, for example, like we take alif lam mim. So you can see, for example, like this one, lam alif mim and mim ya mim. Alif lam alif lam mim. So I know that we haven't learned about the hukum of mim, but one of the hukum is we call idgham mutamasilain, which is mim sukun or mim mati meet with mim. Mim mati with mim, mim sukun with mim. So we need to idgham and there is we call dengung to harakah. So alif lam. So that's the difference between mad lazim harfi musaqqal and mad lazim harfi mukhaffaf. So I think I will understand better. We see the example.
Brother Idlan,
Okay,
sorry to
so
ask. Can I ask, sorry?
yeah,
Okay, I give example like this huruf in the surah kaf ha ya ain sad, right? So there is a wave sign, the prolonged pronunciation wave signs above each huruf, but in the huruf of ha and ya there is no sign at all. So does it mean that the ha and ya is just one harakah?
yes, correct.
One harakah. All right. So how's
Yeah.
about alif lam ra? Ra is one harakah, right? So alif lam ra.
So actually for the ha and ya, it is to harakah
Oh,
because
two harakah.
if we spell it ha alif,
All right.
so
Okay, noted. Noted.
so yeah, yeah alif.
Yep. Okay, understand. Thank you.
So we go to the example. So okay, so if you can see, for example, like mukhaffaf and musaqqal. So for the musaqqal, for example, like alif lam mim and tasnim. So first alif lam. We can see that between lam and mim there is like one, bukan? Dia ada macam dengung sikit. Alif lam. So, then the first, and then tasim. Tasim. And if we try to spell it, sinyanu. So there is nun sukun and mim yamin. So there is nun sukun, the one nun mati meet with mim. So it is somehow like idgham ma'lunah. Idgham ma'lunah. So we read it as idgham with dengung. Syaitanir Tasim. That's for idgham mad lazim harfi musaqqal. And for mad lazim harfi mukhaffaf, actually usually there is no idgham at the huruf. Okay, like Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Yasin. Which means that you can see that after that huruf there is no huruf. But actually, even though there is two huruf, but there is no connection. Okay. And also for this meme, so it is considered as mad lazim harfi mukhaffaf. So for this meme, for example, like nun. Nun. So actually the difference between mad lazim harfi musaqqal and mukhaffaf, that's all different. If there is idgham or not. If there is idgham, so it is considered as musaqqal. If there is no idgham, so it is mukhaffaf. But the rule is we need to read that huruf with six harakah. Then actually I have a lot of examples, so we will see after this. Okay, so for example, like the first one is alif lam mim. So as it is now, for the lam, it is considered as mad lazim harfi, mad lazim harfi musaqqal. Actually, the meaning of musaqqal is heavy. The meaning of mukhaffaf is light. Okay, so example for this one, alif, lam. If you spell lam, lam alif mim, and then the last mim meet with the beginning of mim ya mim. So is considered as idgham mutamathilain, and we read it as idgham. Alif lam. We should have it is not alif lam. It's not, it should have like alif lam. Okay, so for the next example, Surah Al-Araf, alif lam sad. So at the lam, there is we call mad lazim harfi musaqqal. But for mim ya mim, but the mim meet with sad. Well, that's why because I think we will understand better actually if we learn about the hukum of mim, because there is quite a lot about hukum of mim here. But actually for hukum of mim, what I can say that it is it just have three hukum, and the letter that involve only mim and ba, which mean that mim sukun ataupun or mim mati meet with ba, there is the first hukum that we need to read as dengung atau harakat, and then the second one, mim sukun ataupun mim mati meet with mim, so it is considered as, we also need to read it as dengung with two harakat, but for other letter there is no dengung. So actually it is quite simple. So we just need to recognize that the mim sukun or mim mati meet with ba or mim. I think we will understand better in the next session. Maybe we will learn about the hukum mim. But for now, I can say that mim ya mim and mim meet with sad. So there is no what you call, no hukum method. So it is considered as mukhaffaf. So we just read it. Alif lam mim sad. So next one.
Sorry,
Surah
but
Al-Fatihah.
can I ask? Sorry.
Okay,
The previous page just now, the alif, alif lam mim sad. A'udzubillahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alif lam mim sad. Why usually I realize that after mim, in between mim and sad, is just as if like there is a pause. There is like what you call that, macam berhenti sekejap. Why not we just alif lam mim sad? I mean, why there is alif lam mim sad? Why there is a pause? Is it because to make sure that there is no idgham, or how?
I think usually we read as, for example, like alif lam mim sad.
Okay, all right. So there is no
So
pause now. So we just continue. Okay.
we should just continue.
All right.
So
Okay.
there is no.
Pause, right? Okay. Thank you.
So for sad, if we spell it sad alif da. So and Actually, it is just one letter standing. So obviously there will be no mad lazim harfi mufaqqal. So it is just harfi mukhaffaf. Let's see, we read it as sis harakah. صاد والقرآن ذي الذكر. So the next is Surah Maryam. كافها يا عين صاد. So that I explain this now. And then Surah Al-Ghafir. Same like Surah Al-Dukhan, Hamim. Hamim. So this one is Al-Azim, Harfi, Mukhaffaf. Actually, Al-Azim Harfi Mukhaffaf is a lot. And there's only just some part. And between them is Al-Azim Harfi, Muthaqqal. And also for Yasin. Yasin also, there is no letter after that. Yasin. But the important thing we need to remember about Al-Azim Harfi is you need to read it as sis harakah. Yasin. And then Surah Ash-Shura. Okay. This one we see like Hamim. And then Ain Sin Qaf. So actually if we call if it is what we call this huruf called the huruf that we read as Ain, Sin and Qaf, we need to like separate it into spelling, and we should see either there is hukum between them or not. Ain, for example, like Ain ya Nun, there is no sukun, and then Sin. So Nun sukun made with Sin. And also for Sin ya Nun, and then Qaf alif fa. So there is Nun sukun made with Qaf. So we need to read it as Ain Sin Qaf. Then next surah Qasim. And that's the example, and actually like it is actually abundant in the Quran, and it is easier to recognize as it is actually in the beginning of in the surah, not all surah, but many surah. It is more than 10 surah that have like start with the letter. So for now we know that there is the letter, and then if there is we have sign above the letter, so it is malazim harfi, and we need to see it either there is idgham or not, and if there is idgham, it is considered as malazim harfi musaqqal. Musaqqal means heavy, berat, musaqqal. And if there is no actually no idgham between the letter, so it is considered as malazim harfi mukhaffaf. I think that's all for malazim harfi.
All right, thank you very much, Brother Idlan. So I think we decided to discuss and focus first on Mad Lazim Harfi. And inshallah in subsequent session we'll discuss further on Mad Lazim Karimi. And I think so far this Mad Lazim Harfi, the haraka is the longest one compared to the previous hukumat, which I think previously about 2 haraka, 4 or 5 haraka, but this one is 6 haraka. So so it's a good revision for me to identify that the haraka should be long lah, which is 6 haraka, not 4 or 5. Okay, I think we already completed the first part of the session whereby we already listened to the lectures or the sharing session by Brother Idlan. So the subsequent session is that we're going to recite the verses from Surah Al-Quran for us to see our pronunciation. We'll begin by my recitation, after that followed by Brother Idlan. So we're still in the Surah Al-Waqiah, is it, Brother Idlan? Okay. So this would be our last session for this surah, right? After this, we will continue with another
No, no.
surah. Okay,
I think that still have
all right. Okay, all right.
one piece.
Okay, all right. So we begin with the recitation. A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Afara'aytumun nara allati turun. أأنتم أنشأتم شجرتها أم نحن المنشئون نحن جعلناها تذكرة ومتاعا للمقوين فسبح باسم ربك العظيم فلا أقسم بمواقع النجوم وإنه لقسم لو تعلمون عظيم. Another page, right? Any page, Brother, subsequent one?
No. For tonight we start here.
All right, okay. Sadaqallahul azim.
So only just one part. The was 71.
Mm-hmm.
I think but they should make it clear
Mm-hmm.
in the An-Narallati, because it's now I say that to read it as An-Narallati.
All right.
And that's all.
Thank you, Brother Idlan. So now we proceed with Brother Idlan's recitation.
So A'udzubillahi أفرأيتم النار التي تورون أأنتم أنشأتم شجرتها أم نحن المنشئون نحن جعلناها تذكرة ومتاعا للمقوين فسبح باسم ربك العظيم فلا أقسم بمواقع النجوم وإنه لقسم لو تعلمون عظيم.
Alhamdulillah, thank you very much, Brother Idlan. So I think we completed the second part of our session tonight. So the last session would be, we would like to open the recitation to our volunteers, either any one of us in the participant in this session would like to recite the ayah. So I think it's among the shortest ayah, the shorter verse that we need to recite for tonight. So anyone would like to volunteer to recite?
Saya boleh.
Boleh, silakan.
Ustaz nanti perbetul tajwid nak, saya takut silap. Okay, a'udzubillahi minasyaitonir rajim. Afara'aytumun nara allati turun أأنتم أنشأتم شجرتها أم نحن المنشئون نحن جعلناها تذكرة ومتاعا للمقوين فسبح باسم ربك العظيم فلا أقسم بمواقع النجوم وإنه لقسم لو تعلمون عظيم. Sadaqallahu azim.
Azim. I think we would like to listen the comments from Brother Idlan.
So, thank you to
Sister
our
Wati. Yeah.
Okay, so it's a good good recitation, but I think on one part, which is on the verse 75, Fala uqsimu bima wa. So I think we haven't touched on Qalqalah, right, Doctor?
Yeah, we haven't. Yeah.
Qalqalah. But I think for the Fala uqsimu bima wa. So Qalqalah we have 5 huruf. One of these is Qaf. So if we read it with the 5 letter of Qalqalah, one of the Qaf is sukun. So we need to read it like in English. In Malay we call melantun.
Mhm.
Fala uqsimu bima waqi'na. It's not like fala uqsimu bima wa. So ini like melantun.
Bouncing.
Uqsim.
It's like bounce back,
Fala
right?
bouncing. Fala uqsim.
Uqsi.
Qalqal. Fala uqsimu
Uqsi.
bima.
Yes.
Mhm.
It has 5 letter, which is Qaf, To, Ba, Jim, Dal. Then we will discuss later
Yeah,
in the
inshallah.
next session on what the Qalqalah. But
Brother Idlan, nak tanya sikit boleh tak?
Yes, yes.
Boleh lah kami cakap bahasa Melayu ni?
Sure, can. Boleh.
Okay, macam surah Ar-Rahman kan? Kan kalau mad lazim kalimi musaqal, dia kan dia kena masuk idgham kan? Kalau macam ada ayat mad lazim kalimi musaqal tu, macam surah Ar-Rahman, betul tak macam ni ayat 15 lah. Wa khalaqal janna mim marijim min nar. Hak yang janna tu adalah mad lazim kalimi musaqal. Tu macam mana Ustaz? Betul tak?
tengok.
Ayat 15.
Ar-Rahman. Khalaqal janna. Itu dah masuk kalimnya. Dah.
It's kalimis. It's not huruf at the beginning of surah. It's verse number 15. Yeah, wa khalaqal janna min marijin min so the huruf alif nun jan. Yeah.
Masukkan.
Yeah, is that huruf mad lazim kalimi as mentioned just now by Sister Awatif? Yeah, it's true, right?
It's mad lazim kalimi.
Kalimi, yeah. With idgham. Without idgham.
It is mad lazim kalimi musaqal. And actually it's quite different between Harfi. How is he the idgham is?
I see. Right.
Okay, terima kasih pada Idlan.
Thank you, Sister Awati, for that question. Any more comments by Idlan for the verses just now from Sister Awati recitation? No.
I think that's all.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much. Alhamdulillah, I think we'll have a very fruitful discussion for tonight's session on this hukum mad lazim harfi, a little bit on mad lazim kalimi, and inshallah we're going to continue in 2 weeks time on mad lazim kalimi kalimi musaqqal and mukhaffaf, inshallah. And for the rest who have not joining us since the beginning, and also for those that watching us in Facebook, we already recorded this session, and we're going to share the recorded session of this tonight in our YouTube channel, inshallah. With that, we end our session tonight with Suratul As and Tasbih Kifarah. All right, thank you everyone. Thank you, Brother Idlan. Thank you for being patient with me with my multiple questions. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum and good night. Take care.
Waalaikumsalam.